and then we all just wave to like make sure that we're real people.
Did you ever think that one like, one comment, one follow, or one DM could land you your dream job? Well, today I'm here to talk to you about networking and specifically developing your brand, gaining/growing a following, and executing the conversation so that you can land that dream job. So developing your brand. This is essentially letting the world know your personality, right? Who you are and who you want them to perceive you as. You don't want them, do you want them to know, too much about you or just a little or in the middle? It depends. It's how much you want them to know about you, but just know that everything you put out there, they will know. So you need to reveal in each post who you are and who you want to be, and each post is trying to build a story up to what you want to tell the public, right? So when we talk about posts, we want to eliminate harmful posts. And what are those? Harmful posts can be anything with cursing, nudity, basically anything that's not school appropriate is something you don't want to post, right? Because that's getting you nowhere. In your posts, you want to talk about your interests and your ambitions. Okay, so that can even include in your bio. A lot of people will just make a cool, neat bio just for, the attention or whatever, but what you should really put in your bio is something that can really help you out in the future. So if you're a telecommunications major or a journalism major or something like that, put that in your bio. People will see it and they might hit you up. So with your posts, you also want to post your progress, each step you take. So you get an internship, post about it because someone's going to see it and someone might reach out to you. In order for people to want to follow you, you need to be interesting, right? That means standing out from everyone else and being unique. There needs to be something that separates you from something else, or else no one's going to want to follow you because they're not going to care, right? So when we talk about developing a brand, a book I like to refer to is Crushing It. It's a book by Gary Vaynerchuk, and it's all about building your social media, your networking, everything. And he says in this book, he says, it's a matter of survival to think beyond your current successes and constantly look for ways to create new ones so that you're never limited to any one platform or even one topic. How do you do that? By creating a personal brand so powerful that it transcends platforms, products, and even your passion. So as we can tell here, developing your brand is the base and it's the start of everything. So after you develop your brand, what do you want to do? Well, you're always developing your brand, I should take that back. But upon developing your brand, you want to gain/grow your following. And how do you do that? Post quality posts, like we said. You need to give people information so that they can hit you up and they know what you're about. You're not going to go take a picture at the beach, if just to get likes, if that's not going to help you out at all, right? So you want to keep in mind that you want to be authentic, you want to be yourself, you don't want to ever copy anyone else, but you want to make sure that you post something that garners the most attention. So try to think of ways to be unique. Of course, there's all kinds of websites and really it's up to you to help yourself figure out a way to be unique from everybody else and stand out. So when we're talking about posting, the more likes, the more comments, and even the more DMs is going to increase your chance of getting a response and it's going to grow your following. The more you put yourself out there, the more you're going to get back in return. And when you grow your following, you need to make sure you're engaging with the people who are commenting and liking and who are your loyal followers, right? Because that's going to continue to make them a loyal follower and they're going to continue to check on what you're posting. And if you don't do that, it's basically just looking like you're big shotting or big leaguing somebody and you just want to look cool to not respond to anybody. Also, according to entrepreneur.com, which is a website specifically built on developing your brand, it says you need to be consistent with everything you do, right? So that can include your posts, your everything you put out there. It needs to be consistent because consistency is going to get people to keep coming back. If they know you post every Wednesday at 2, they're going to come check out every Wednesday at 2, as long as you develop your first step, which is developing your brand. So the next thing we got here is executing the conversation. So you've developed your brand, you've gained a following, everything like that. now it's time to slide in the person's DM that you need to help you out, right? So how are we going to execute this conversation? Well, first of all, keep in mind you shouldn't be shy. You've already put yourself out there on social media, right? And everyone can see your stuff. Don't be shy. The worst they could say is no, okay? So, like we said, I'm going to reiterate it, the more DMs, the higher percentage chance you have of a response. Also, you should research the person that you're DMing. You don't want to seem like a stalker, but you want to know enough about them to keep the conversation going so that you can have a quality conversation. And it's not just something like, hey, what's up, bro? How you doing? Because no one's probably going to respond to that, right? Also, when you first get into the conversation, you want to establish your credibility. And what I mean by that is you want to tell them what you've done, everything you've done to get to that point, and you want to establish the direction you're going. So how's this conversation going? Again, if you're DMing a professional, you're not going to say, hey, what's up, bro? Because that guy, like, where are you going with the conversation here? Tell them what you want, right? And so another website I found to help me out a lot was talkroute.com, and it says, when you're talking to these people, you want to talk to them like you're your boss, okay? Now, you don't want to be scared. A lot of people are scared when they're talking to their boss. They're timid. You want to be yourself, but professionally speaking, you want to talk to them like they're your boss. You're not going to, you're not going to curse. You're not going to say, you need to use proper grammar. Instead of saying you, the letter U, as the word you, you're going to type it out, actually, because that's going to help you look professional, right? So, in wrapping up, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to establish your brand, and it's not just established. Once you establish it, it keeps going, right? And that's going to lead you into gaining a following and growing your following, and then finally executing the conversation. All these steps go hand in hand. It means nothing if you develop a following, you gain followers, but you can't execute the conversation, right? And it means nothing if you can execute a conversation, but you can't get people to follow you and engage with you, right? So all of this goes hand in hand, and you need to know all of this in order to help you successfully reach out to the right people. And with that, are there any questions?
What's the best social platform to actually talk to someone?
Okay, so the best platform nowadays, the most popular, surprisingly, I think is Facebook, because it includes all ranges of people, old and young. The best for young people, I think, is Instagram. But, a lot of jobs nowadays use Twitter because it's quick, you can get your comments right out there. So I would work on all of them, but if you already have a base on one of them, use that the most, and then you can tell on that about your other social media platforms.
Do you think it's smart to have your personal social media and then a separate one to build your brand?
No, I would put both of them together so that people aren't going separate places to look at it. And what I'm saying by this is you don't eliminate your personal life on there, but you also watch what you post about yourself. You're not going to post pictures of you getting hammered, at the club and stuff like that. That probably shouldn't even make your personal profile. You want to establish yourself even with people because that's how you're going to be treated, is how you're seen on there. Any other questions? Yeah.
What was the book that you're reading by Gary Vaynerchuk?
This is called Crushing It. So this is his second book, and this is a follow-up of the first book he did called Crush It, I think it was. And that was written back in 2008. But yeah, Crushing It, you can take a look at it if you want to. It's a really, really good book. I would recommend it. I haven't read it all yet, but I would recommend it. Yeah. Any other questions? All good?